Hey, Justin.
Nice to see you. Day 2 of PropTech. We are here in the podcast booth again, and I guess we're with the real
The Real
housewives of PropTech, I suppose.
That's
Is
right.
that how?
No. I don't want to be a
I
housewife.
try.
The real women
The
of
real
PropTech.
women of
That's it,
PropTech.
Pat. That's
We
it, Pat.
are joined by 3 industry veterans. You probably, if you don't know all 3, you
Legends.
probably know at
Legends.
least one of the 3 legends.
Thank
Legends.
you.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Celebrities.
Vixens.
But why don't we go around and just kind of introduce quickly sort of ourselves? Yeah.
My name's Tamela Coval. I am with a company that I founded called Tech Femmes, empowering women in technology. I'm sitting by Tami Siewruk so that some of her brains can rub off on me. And then across from Patterson, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves because she's got really kind of magic dust on her hands. So that's me. Oh, and I'm channeling Wicked today.
You are, yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Thank you.
You
Tam.
look great.
Go, Tam.
I'm Tami Siewruk, Multifamily Pro, originally the brainstorming sessions, but now it's MPro Digital Edge, which we have 166 AI tools that are all about upskilling everybody in the multifamily industry with Multifamily Next. That is an event that focuses on getting everybody in the industry AI fluent.
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented.
Yeah.
I'm Pat Patterson. I've been in the industry a long time. And long enough that I retired last year in November, a year ago.
Wow.
And I untired 2 months later. I wasn't done collaborating and contributing. I love this industry. I love multifamily. It is a privilege to be able to work with people in the most intimate level of their lives, which is their home. So we serve an amazing purpose in this
But
country.
what's the name of the company you went to now?
I am on the verge of starting my own company, announcing.
Launch
we get
it.
to be
Launch
first?
it now. Launch
Let's hear
it.
it.
Launch
Let's hear
it.
It's called, it's kind of silly, but it's called the Triple P Pledge.
You pledge.
The Triple P Pledge. I've been on both sides, the vendor side, the owner side, the property. I started with Equity Residential. And this industry right now seems to be growing in so many different directions. And having been on the vendor side for 4 startups, including YieldStar, there is a sense of people are not producing what they're promising, what they're pitching, whether it's on the client side. Oh, they go in and pitch to the owners, we're going to do this, this, and that. And sometimes that doesn't happen. And then on the vendor,
Hashtag hard truth.
yes,
Gotcha.
hard
So
truth.
pitch, promise,
And produce.
Produce. Yes,
Whatever
I got
you
that,
pitch
yeah.
and promise,
Nice.
you have to produce.
I like
Congratulations.
that. That's a good
Exactly.
pledge. I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of tech folks, I think that could help anchor them actually. If a lot of time, I think when we talk about innovation, people get so excited, they just kind of race down
Yeah.
and they forget about those triple P's sometimes, like why are they doing it in the first place? Like just following innovation just because. But speaking of, we're at PropTech and there's a lot of discussion around what's next here. And you kind of leads into sort of what you all do, what you care about. What have you noticed people being discussed or people discussing right now? What's the climate in terms of how people feel about what's next?
Oh, I can start if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I think people are operators as well as supplier partners are feeling like they're drinking from a fire hose. Not to overuse that term, but like deer in headlights. There's so much, there's so little time. We are operators. We are not tech developers. There's just too much. And, we're super busy. And now all this stuff is coming to our on-site teams that we're overwhelmed. And in this day and age, they can't really be overwhelmed. There's federal legislation, there's state legislation that differs by state, unique to each state, coming down the pike. and they're just overwhelmed. So it's like, can you not just bring some of this to me? Instead of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
can you not bring some of this to me? Now, I do really salute the operational experts and the visionaries in multifamily who do attend the conferences and do try to understand and see and just get a vision of what's coming next. But it's difficult for them. And it's certainly difficult to send one person or two people from a management company to absorb everything that would impact every something on the chart of accounts, right? Or on the financial statement.
Yeah.
So
So
I
what
think you've
Yeah.
got some stuff.
so what I'm hearing is there needs to be training ultimately. I mean, for folks that are learning more about what's coming,
Bingo.
you need to have like pre-training and then continuing
It's
education.
roll up your sleeves. Let's really do it. Workshops, right?
Yeah.
That people need to become AI fluent.
Yep.
And then, but even before the training, what comes into play is the governance of everything, especially with AI, and getting that governance piece in play
Mhm.
so that the AI is then implemented properly across, or even the technology, not just AI, but just technology in general, which is why being at OpTalk is awesome, right?
Right.
Because you're getting the full scope of it,
Exactly.
right? And that's
Exactly.
a big deal.
And I think we're going to hear from the two AI leads
Yeah.
on at the federal level today.
Yeah. That's
Yeah. And
correct.
so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal, a lot of the things that are coming down. And what I've learned over just this past year alone, like so many people don't even realize that they're using AI, and they're using
Correct.
AI, and that puts them in high risk because if now, because of what HUD has come out with, if you don't know, is not an excuse anymore. So you have to have that education and you have to become fluent, but you have
Right.
to have that governance piece in play.
Well, and
So
Tam, to that note, I'm sorry I
go
interrupted, but
ahead.
just really quickly, to that note, a part of what RETC does and NMHC and NAA, a part of what all of those organizations do is they lead us when we go up to Capitol Hill
Mhm.
and or to the state capitals and educate
Yep.
our legislators because
They don't know.
they don't know, and
Right.
they know less than probably operators, yet they're getting PAC dollars and they're getting
Right.
big tech dollars to influence decision making, and that's a problem. So part of what this AI governance, and I've got a lead for you in here, part of this AI governance piece is learning how to educate our legislators who are going to be doing the regulation piece
Right.
on it.
It's a big
And
deal.
that's like, or maybe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and I think too the other so aside from that, I also think that everybody in our industry is in the same place. We know that. We know that there's one or two groups, and you're in one of those two groups. You're either you've implemented, you're getting a return, you've reduced your staff, you're running tech, or you also the other group is they've implemented a little bit of it. They're getting some return of it, but they really are not grasping the whole thing that's going on and knowing how to do it. They don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, the governance and the education is a huge piece of it in becoming fluent.
It's like saying you know how to swim, but you're only waist deep in the water.
Or you
Right.
have on
Oh,
floaties.
great
Yeah.
analogy. Great analogy. Well done.
Well, and then
Yeah.
Pat, you were sharing with me yesterday about how you're sharing some things with supplier partners who
Yes.
think they know AI.
Who think they know everything about working in multifamily, and
Yeah.
somehow they don't even hire people that know multifamily. But it goes. I sat next to a couple of owners yesterday at the opening
Uh-huh.
session, and heard everything that was going on and how more startups are going to be encouraged in the industry. And after it was over, we sat there for at least 15 more minutes talking, and I said, how do you feel about all of the technology that's coming at you? And they just said, we can't manage what we've got. It's creating a state of confusion in the
Yeah.
company. We're finding that we are using multiple vendors for the same particular
Right.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so internally, I've talked to procurement managers. They said, our priority is to make our teams understand what we already have in place
Right.
before we start adding things. And the other thing I wanted to add, which was kind of piggybacking on what you were saying, I was just in a session, and it was about teaching suppliers how to talk to owners.
Yeah.
And
That's tough.
everybody's like, okay, well, we'll work on a pilot with you. You know what he called it? He said, you don't want to get into pilot hell. And obviously,
true.
a
Yeah.
lot of vendor suppliers,
Yeah.
you can use either one, you get caught up in that. So it's a lot to absorb, and it's going to take some patience. It's going to take some understanding and people who are willing to take risks.
You know, Pat, great point, because it's not slowing down.
No.
I mean,
Mhm.
look, AI and the technology today is moving faster than it ever has. It's faster than the internet. It's faster than all of it. So it is like drinking. I'll
From
use
a
your
fire
phrase.
hose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, really,
Or,
that's
or
where we.
choosing which fire hose do I drink.
that's
Great point.
Yeah.
Or the
Yes.
other one is build the plane. I mean, fly the plane
Yeah.
as you build it.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
It-
part of a startup that was our motto.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard to keep up, and I think to kind of the collective point in terms of the education is, the more and more these tools move us faster and more forward, the more and more like generations that are just coming in the industry don't necessarily know what those tools are built on. Like
That's
I always equate
right.
it to like calculator and math. I mean, it's not an exact analogy, but if you don't understand the formulas,
Right.
then you're just
You
if you're
bet.
totally reliant on the calculator, then there's a huge delta there that
You're
you're
right. And I'm
stuck.
I'm going to age you on one of those statements because
Go for it. I'll
I'm
take it
going.
anytime I
Sorry.
get it.
Well, but
I know.
but it's a age on me. But I think the three of us have all had operator, developer, asset management experience for a significant period of time. I mean, Tami develops her own properties and she has her own management company. Or
Yeah.
Partners and
Yeah.
partners in management company. When I started on site leasing apartments, we didn't have calculators. So that's my aging piece.
See how to do it by pencil.
Well, no, we did have adding machines,
Okay.
and you
Okay.
learn how to do that without looking at it, right?
As long as you didn't say abacus, I would have been.
Yeah.
Well, when I was in school, we learned a side rule and an abacus. But anyway,
It's still taught.
I know. But anyway, so my point is, new technology seriously then was sticky notes
Mhm.
and whiteout.
Yeah.
We had typewriters that we did leases on. We had
I-
carbon paper. We had no fax machine, no
Right.
copiers,
Yeah.
no computers. I think my first exposure to computer was the Little Buddy system,
Yeah, mine too.
right? Little Buddy.
I love their TOS, the transfer on site. A little truck would come out and go dump it into the other apartment. It was
See?
wait till somebody did that.
We're the Oregon Trail of
Put
Which I love.
multifamily
together
I
a
love
history
that.
book.
Yeah.
Right.
We should.
Here's what's really interesting is that I liken it to Microsoft Office, and you guys are probably too young to know when Microsoft Office first came out. We thought it was going to solve everything out there. The truth of the matter is, here's where AI comes into the play, right? You could not get a job today if you weren't proficient at using Microsoft Office. You wouldn't even hire
Yeah,
somebody
that's
if they
true.
couldn't use Word or Excel or whatever.
That's true.
But guess what? In 2 short years, that's where we're going to be with AI.
That's
Mhm.
right.
If you're not AI fluent, you're not going to be able to be employed. Now,
Right.
Yes.
here is the big kicker in that. As AI progresses and we're eliminating positions, which I think is a mistake because we need to work alongside AI, which was the session this morning. What's happening is that we cannot lose our knowledge base. And which,
Right.
to your point, if we lose our knowledge base when we get to AGI,
Mm-hmm.
artificial general intelligence, when we get to that, we're going to be in big trouble because now you're turning that totally over
Right.
to a system that we can't control at all. And
That's
who are
right.
they going to learn
That's
from?
right.
They know so much about AGI, about our human interaction
Right,
and how we do
right.
things. That's what that will bring to the table and the longer reasoning. But the problem becomes they lose all the history.
They lose
Yeah.
all the history.
So
And like
we
you said,
cannot lose our employees. We need to
Yep.
upgrade them and upskill them to be AI proficient and work alongside AI
exactly.
and take more responsibility. And all it's going to do is increase our own capabilities, right?
Well,
It's
and
going
then
to make us, it's already made me
it frees
smarter.
them up to work the customer journey,
Yep.
whether it's customers, employees inside a management company, they have a customer journey
Right.
as well.
Right.
We don't want to forget them, but the customer journey
Yep.
to apply the human touch and
Yeah.
share the ribs and the jokes. And I dreamed that I saw Justin dressed up as King George singing
Yes.
from Hamilton. Oh wait, did that happen?
That's happened.
It
From the
happened.
mind of you, though.
I
think, from
have
the
a-
mind of you.
I have a video of that. I thought I dreamt that last night. So Eric, watch out.
Yes, you're next. You're next.
It's hard to get a word in edgewise with us.
It
right?
really is. I'm
this
What
sorry.
show is this?
Yes, that works. That's perfect.
Uh,
No, it's a good conversation, and it's good to sometimes listen. I think that's the other thing. To your point is that sometimes we're not listening enough because which kind of leans into not learning. We're so quick
Right.
to from coming from. I did lease apartments when I was in grad school in
did
Boston for like 7 months. Yes, but it was
Great.
fun. It was
Great.
fun.
Yeah, that's a
it's
nice
fun times, yeah.
foundation right there.
Yes.
you? Yeah.
But most of my time was with suppliers. I was on the supplier side. But I will say that the one thing that I always do with like leading sales teams or mentoring is that it's like you don't need to spew out everything you are. If you can take as much time as you can to ask or to listen or to
Yep.
understand,
Yep.
you're going to be so much further off because one, you may not have anything that they need, and you save everybody a whole bunch of time, and maybe develop a relationship that goes beyond that one interaction. But you also can they're going to tell you how to be sold to. They're going to tell you what they're needing, all those things, right?
That's-
Oh, that's so
That's
funny. I
wise.
just
You're-
found a quote that said, "What if you were doing your best sales pitch to the wrong person?" And that's exactly
good
what
quote,
they're
yeah.
doing. And, a lot of times
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I saw a VP of operations. I've got to tell them everything I know. And I can get that,
Yeah.
sale, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to talk the language to that particular persona,
Yeah.
as well as they don't know the right questions to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've already given this best sales pitch, but no,
Yeah,
that's
Right.
not
I'm
me.
guilty of that. I don't listen as much as I
Yeah.
should.
Yeah. But it's
So-
hard,
It's
right?
hard,
It's hard
Tam.
because
I
everyone.
struggle with
there's
it.
there's an right. There's so much stuff to
Yeah.
say. There's only so much time, and I think coming from like the sales side of things, right, is you have people in leadership that are focused on like enabling product education.
Yes.
And so you're just so like kind of your head is swarming with like the ROIs and the stuff,
Right.
but you're not necessarily learning the other piece, which is the how, the who, the personas. I mean, you talk about
The
it, but
customer side.
not
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah. So I did work for an organization. You and I both worked
Yeah.
for the same organization that I won't name, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved my time there. Okay. It was Apartment Guide.
Yes.
Back when we had books.
Back when we had books and we said, nobody will ever get rid of the books because you can't
Oh,
take a
can you
computer to the
imagine?
toilet.
Right.
Print. You want to read on the what? Say that again.
The iPhone.
Speak that into the mic.
Enter Apple. Enter Apple.
Speak that into the mic.
Conversation just went in the toilet.
Oh, my God,
Putting
that's-
toilet paper in the refrigerator now.
All right. So here's my point: is we were taught, and from top leadership, which was visionary and brilliant, and I loved them, and I loved reporting to Gary.
Yeah.
However, his vision was before you come to sales training, and I oversaw training at that time. Before you came to sales training, new hire, you memorized an 18-page presentation, start
Wow.
to finish. And then you sit in a room with your peers who are also there for sales training. And, Tamela will start you out with the sales presentation. And then Pat,
Yes.
you're
Thank
on.
you for taking the time to talk with me today. I appreciate working with busy people because I'm one myself. Let me tell you.
And then you sling it over to Justin
Yeah.
and Eric.
Yeah.
But that's how we were taught.
Yes, and now
originally.
look, we're here in AI, and it seems like some of those prompts are very similar.
That's true.
So-
That's true.
Somebody uploaded the 18-page manual.
That was
Yeah.
great.
It was great. I will say that you did retain product knowledge like
Yeah.
nobody's
Yes, you
business.
did.
And part of the mentality behind that was to imprint that knowledge in your brain. So if some, but then
So
we were
30 years later, you're still
You're still spouting it.
I'm going to meet with you today.
But if someone had an objection, you know, kind of, oh yeah, so I
Yeah.
know how to answer that
Yeah.
question. No, we can't do that with technology.
Did you go through all of this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've been through it.
Yeah.
I run these 11 times.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
11 times.
11 times.
Yeah.
I did go to private landlords though. I found out pretty quickly that living in a garden style apartment in Savannah was not the most desirable thing at the time.
For you, yeah.
At the time. I mean, now Savannah has grown, of course, but
I lived in Savannah in a former life.
oh,
Now, so
I've
when
never
you
said
did it,
that on camera.
you didn't have a book.
It's-
You went
it's-
straight to
let's
the
hear it.
internet, or how did you find your apartments?
I knew the various apartments that I could live in.
Mhm.
Some were farther away. I mean, at the time in Savannah, living 15 minutes away from town was like, oh, you're
You're way
in
out
the
in the
middle of
sticks.
nowhere. You're out in the sticks, right? So I want to live closer to town. So that there were only a few options for us at the time. Being young students in college,
Huh?
looking for a place to live.
Oh, you were the original SCAD. That's right.
original
You
Yeah,
sure did.
Savannah's right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But I ended up,
Sheesh.
renting for 1 year. We successfully got our deposit back, I believe. But I tell you, the first night I slept in that apartment after driving from Michigan all the way down to Savannah, getting there
Savannah.
right before the leasing office closed at 5 o'clock.
In August.
And right around,
Savannah,
September. Drove through a
September.
hurricane, drove through a remnants of a hurricane.
Wow.
Oh
Overnight.
boy.
Got there, got the keys. I don't know if they even have it. I didn't have a bed yet. I had a sleeping bag. And I slept on the ground and woke up in the middle of the night and felt something
Oh
on
dear.
my face. It was a cockroach.
Oh, they don't have those in Savannah.
No, Savannah.
Don't drop out of
not one
trees.
cockroach, that's for sure. But that was my introduction
Yeah.
to
Apartment living.
apartment living.
Oh, really?
That was
Wow.
it. My first night.
Yeah.
I'm
So you-
surprised they didn't ask for a pet deposit.
So you said something key about finding the apartment and everything. I just recently heard in the past week or two that the number of people searching for an apartment on ChatGPT
Oh, it's over the
is
top.
over the top.
Yep.
So, I've been thinking about the ILSs. How is all of that working? Because if somebody can sit on ChatGPT and say, yeah, I want to live here, here, and here, tell me everything in the area, tell me all of the reviews on that. How do you all think this is going to affect?
I have a lot of opinions about this being on the marketing side. I
Okay.
agree it's drastically going to change things. One of the biggest challenges an ILS has is they want to be scrapable. You want
Yeah.
to show up in the results.
Yes.
And not just have a mention, check out apartment list. No, they want a link to apartment list.
Exactly.
The challenge I see happening right now is if I can compare apples to apples within ChatGPT, why would I
Why
even
would I
to a
go-
website?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that funny? Because Zillow has a partnership with ChatGPT.
That's right.
So, and ChatGPT is now behind Grok. And I know you guys have said people don't know who Grok is, but they better know it because they're 31 basis points above ChatGPT. And what we're finding is that ChatGPT and the results that you get from ChatGPT are going to be tainted because now you're going to be buying advertising on it, just like
Yep.
you do Google Ads. So it's really taking that uniqueness away. If it becomes more like a Google, then how much? And people say Google's dying. Well, that is so not true. Google's search is so much greater now, and they are. People are still using it to find apartments. They might go and look on ChatGPT, but when they want to get real specific and they've narrowed it down, they're going to leave and they start going to all the other avenues. They go to ILSs, it's called the messy middle. And that's what happens. And Google coined that phrase a long time ago. You're in marketing, you've heard of it.
You should
It's
call
that messy middle.
Yeah. I mean, you have two maps up, right? You have two maps up and you're mapping the distances between this place and work
Exactly.
and this place and work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, I think what, any marketing leasing team needs to do is they need to see how people are using their website. I mean, literally watch people on your website.
Going through it. Yeah.
That's how
And
they
there's
do it.
like clarity
So
with
question.
Microsoft.
Ask a
or-
renter how the process they took, because you're going to find it's different. Some people search on Google Maps only. Some people do Google search.
Yeah.
Other people
Messy middle.
go to the Craigslist.
Yeah.
Still
messy
Still
middle.
Craigslist?
Still
No way.
Oh yeah, people are using Craigslist.
Didn't
still.
know that.
Believe that. No, but then Reddit is also
Reddit.
huge.
Yeah, Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
So question.
Yes.
You said something, Eric, about the leasing, go and see what the customers are doing through the website.
Mhm.
So this is going to be a true, be truthful. How many leasing agents do you think A, have the time, or B, know to do that?
Well, no, what he's saying is it's like the marketing department is the one that goes and do it. And there's so much technology out there today. I can sit and watch 1,000 videos of people going through the website. That's how I fine tune my websites and make them very good, because I know every click. And I don't make that decision just based on one. I'm making that decision based on thousands of videos, little videos
Right.
of people going through my website.
Right.
All
but
that technology has been around for a really long time. And in marketing, that's what she was talking about.
Well,
Yeah.
the point is to the core competency of communication here
right.
is the marketing team might be viewing this and realize, hey, a lot of people are trying to click on this thing and it's not active.
And
Right.
it's an angry click.
It's a rage click.
Rage click. That's what they call it.
Mind
That's
it
right.
when we do
This
that.
is low-hanging fruit. So these
Yeah.
rage clicks that
And
happen.
clean
Why
those.
is this image not blowing up? Why is this thing not 3D
So,
interactive? Why
I
can
should
I
probably
not
go
go
back-
back a tour?
I'm going to go back to my question again.
Very good.
Why is the
Because-
QR code not working?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to my
By
question
the way,
again.
that was your phone.
Take it,
was
but I'll
working.
take
We
it up to
tested
the-
it all different ways.
I'll take it up to the marketing level,
Yeah.
the marketing team.
I didn't-
How many marketing teams do you really feel are actually going through their websites? Because
A lot of them.
I look at websites.
It's huge.
It depends on the size of the portfolio, the
Yep.
team, the resources they have. No, it's free to install the tracking.
Oh, well, and Microsoft Clarity is
Microsoft
free, and they're
Clarity is
saying
so
that.
we
Yeah.
also have
Yeah, well, I just wanted to put
Yeah,
that,
go.
to dig into that one a little further, is that the scope of it and where that responsibility lies, because
That's usually your marketing
you could have
department
somebody
agent.
that's more owning that or pushing that downstream a little bit, like
Yeah.
a regional marketing director. How much time do they have maybe on it versus somebody else that's more centralized? And so it's like what the
Yeah,
job
who's
scope
in
is. I
touch?
think that's-
Yeah,
And so
it's
what
where
that
I'm going.
boils down
Right.
to is what you're saying
Right.
is that is who's responsible for that touch point. So in the journey, right, we break down all of those touch points.
at Multifamily
and
Next.
then and
Yeah.
and
Oh.
everywhere everybody
Thank you for
does.
letting
That's
me
a
say it.
really common thing, right? So and then you take that touch point and you're going, okay, who is going to own that touch point?
Yes.
And then they're the responsible party to pass that down the
But you and Jamie Gorski are teaching that at Next
Yes.
because nobody else is.
Yeah. I haven't.
Or not
So-
enough people
Well,
are. Right?
not
Like,
enough
so
people are.
Some people might be internally, but then even when you work with large companies, right, you could have a really good team over here in one region,
Right.
not as great a team
That's
somewhere else,
correct.
right?
You're so right.
You do need kind of
Yeah,
other-
we're
You're
doing
so
it.
right,
Justin.
Justin.
Jamie and I do that all across the United States for all different clients, and the clients that hire us, I would have thought that they had that, and they don't. And these are really big companies,
Right.
And
Right.
and they don't realize it. So it's kind of like you can consider that a shop almost, right? Like old
Yeah.
school
Right.
shop.
And,
Yeah.
see,
And
I've done a
that's
lot
what
of
it
that lately.
becomes. So that journey is shopped. And that's how we get into the messy middle. That's how we start, figuring out what's really happening out there. So it's interesting.
And that's how we figure out what's next.
Yeah, it's how we figure out what's
That's
next.
nice. That's a good. So what's next in terms of a fun question to kind of wrap this up
Okay.
here is we've had a lot of conferences this year in Vegas.
3.
Yeah.
Somebody told me 5. Yeah.
5.
You've been on
Yeah.
5? 7?
Four.
7, I think.
Wow.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
some
That's
I won't
true.
name the PMCs,
Yeah.
but some PMCs had their
Yes.
conferences here.
Yes.
right.
So it like
So I've been
stacked
to
me
3.
stacked me up a little
Wow.
bit. But
Did
Yeah.
you rent an apartment here?
Yeah.
I did go to Zion when I was back to back. So I did
Nice.
rent a little Airbnb up there and kind of get away from the strip. But if you had to choose a place to have a next conference, where would it be in the US? Like, where is your ideal city place for a conference?
Pat, you want to start it?
I love Nashville.
Oh, I like Nashville.
I do
Yeah,
love
Nashville's a cool-
Nashville.
Yeah.
I have cool
Um,
cowboy boots.
Yeah. It's just a great vibe all over
Yeah.
there. I used to manage the market for the company that we used to work for.
Yeah.
And the publisher of the book was a country music singer, and her husband was a country music writer, and they took me to all of the coolest places. And so I have a fond,
Yeah.
I almost moved there.
I love that.
But yeah, Nashville.
I kind of look at it in a different standpoint of view. Is like, I'm always concerned about drive times for people and fly times for people and where the most management companies are. And so I kind of look at it from that for convenience. So I tend to pick more like Chicago, Kansas City, Dallas, like, so it's
Yeah.
easy. There's a
To get
2
there.
hours or an
I'm gonna
hour
bite your hand
difference.
here soon.
Sorry.
She's like, what? Like, how many times? We'll go back and count how many times she covered Pat's face.
Jazz hands. Jazz.
All right. It's good we put you in the middle.
Listen, I might not listen really well, but I am like,
Cockroaches.
I am animated.
I love it. What
Swatting.
about your location? Where do you want your conference?
I agree with
So
both.
Yeah.
funny. I
Because
didn't even realize
I
I was
agree with
doing that. I'm
both.
so sorry.
Slap me upside the head. Yeah. I agree with both, but it depends on what you're trying to achieve, right? If you have a national event, I love Nashville. I love Kansas City. It's so interesting that you
Yeah.
pulled that up. And St.
Oh.
Louis.
Yeah, it's really cool because
But
nobody goes there.
Nobody goes
cool
there,
towns.
and they are cool
Yeah.
towns. And then, okay, don't hate me, but I love Memphis. Downtown Memphis is
I
cool.
do like it.
Not in the summer.
Not
No,
in the
no.
summer,
No.
but it's a cool
city.
place. It's
You
a
know
cool
what
city.
people love is Orlando because there's so much going
There's
on
too
in
much
Orlando.
down in Orlando.
Yeah.
We go to too many. Well, we used to.
I'll tell
So-
you what.
But I have another one. I have
Oh,
another one.
okay.
So I think for regional events, you make it if you can make it a destination that people want to go to in the state.
Yeah.
That they can drive to in a couple of hours. Now, Texas and Florida and Texas, Florida, California are, different animals.
Yeah.
But if you make it so that people in other states could come to Chattanooga, what a great little town. If you're doing
Oh yeah.
Carolina, Asheville.
Yeah, Birmingham was always really good
Birmingham,
when I did
even
regional
though
events
I'm a
because people would
Auburn
come
fan.
from
Right.
Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? It was so central that people would come from
Go
all over.
Auburn Tigers.
How about you, Justin?
What would mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for my own personal edification, it would be Denver.
Oh yeah,
Me
I love
too.
Denver.
I do like
I'm
Denver.
I'm going to Denver.
Okay, I would do
I want to
Denver.
do
Yes.
Denver the first week in
All right,
March.
fine. I want some too.
Yeah, Denver first
But
week in March.
I
Yeah.
do
So I can go
appreciate the
skiing.
Dallas
Mhm.
ones because everyone can come. It's a
Everybody
little
get there.
easy
Yeah.
to get to. There's space there, right?
Yeah.
It's
Great
easy to
airport.
stay in
Mhm.
different places. I
Mhm.
appreciate that. So, and what about you?
Good.
So
that was a really
I
good.
recently went to Nashville for the first time this past year, and I thought it was phenomenal. So that's my go-to spot at this point. But I think ultimately, if you're going to do anything, if you're not going to do it right down the middle, Texas,
Yeah.
Chicago, then at least do East Coast, West Coast, East
Yeah.
Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
At least
Alternate it.
alternate
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
And-
has
right.
often been the way.
And
I
here's
agree.
here's a way out of the way. There's a way out of the way. Walla Walla, Washington. Don't laugh. It's wine country. Have you been
I
there?
drove through it once.
It's
yeah,
wine
it's really
country, and they sell T-shirts that say Napa is for auto parts, Walla Walla is for wine.
Cool. Yeah,
And
it
it is
cool
a
spot.
I've
cool,
seen it
tiny
on-
town. that you can walk to
Yeah.
everything. Now, you have to rent
I
a
don't think
you have to rent a covered
I mean,
wagon to
maybe
get
like
there.
an outdoor tent for people, but
Yeah, I think
Still,
your
small
point was really
meeting.
great because, and it's very true. Alternate it from East
Yeah.
Yeah,
Coast, West
yeah.
Coast, because if you, and here's the thing that I do know from being in the business that typically hotels put you in a 3-5 year contract. And so
Right.
you're booking these events
yes, 100%.
See, that
5
makes me
years
cranky.
out. And
Just makes me
you
cranky.
get tied in because you need so much space. So you're not making those decisions quickly. So it is difficult to alternate them. So I understand where it's difficult for them to do that, but it is the best practice.
Yeah, yeah. And NMHC does that. Red
Yeah.
Sea does that.
Yeah.
They do East Coast, West
Yeah.
Coast.
Worst case scenario, say if you are
Except
going to get locked. Go ahead. Yeah.
this year and last year and the year before.
Yeah.
But let me just speaking on the supplier vendor side real quickly. The cities that have union labor that has to be used to set up all
Ooh,
of
they
those
are
expensive.
cost
Yeah,
prohibitive.
Las Vegas, Chicago, New York,
Yes. Philadelphia.
Philadelphia,
Oh,
all of those. It makes it so much more expensive
Yeah.
for
For
them to
suppliers.
do
It is
business.
so true.
So maybe taking it to,
Kansas City.
a Kansas City, a tertiary
Right.
market that's
Yeah.
not,
That's like the very-
but anyway.
Yeah,
Very
as long as they have an airport that can
Yeah.
sustain.
right, the flights
Right.
and-
An international
it.
airport.
Awesome.
So, Memphis.
Great.
Memphis.
Well, thank you
very much.
Thank you all for being here, because I know you all are busy and we are busy and you're taking time for us, so we appreciate that.
Thank
We
you.
like
Thanks for
working with
having
busy
us.
people.
Thank you. I'll
Thank you
kiss your
so
cheek
much.
in a moment.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
If you'll
Thank
let
you. It
me.
was good. Yeah.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.